So I'm joined today by Alexia. Alexia, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to be talking with you, Sharon. I love it.
Alexia, I would like to ask you if you could just tell us a little bit about your journey with Matrix Reimprinting, how it started and how it's affected your life.
Wow, I'd love to share that because it's hugely affected my life. When I met Carl, I was a single mum. I was recovering from PTSD, and I really had never looked at why the same patterns had repeated in my life, why the same things kept showing up. I was sort of pretty unhappy with who I was. So that I literally Googled EFT and Carl came up at the top. So I was like, oh, brilliant. He's in Brighton. I'm in London. So it was just wonderful that it ended up being him. And I went down, I spoke to Carl on the phone, and I was having financial difficulty. So he helped me out, and I came down on his course and I trained with him. Best thing I ever did. Not only for myself, I started a process which, you know, we're all an ongoing process, but one that has utterly changed my life. And then about 3 years ago, I started working with clients as well. So passing it on. So it's just been incredible. It's a real journey for me.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I suppose about only 6 months ago, I found my core belief. You know, I kept on saying, where is it? When's it going to show up? Everyone keeps talking about it. And I get when I think I'm almost there. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. But it's not it. And when it's it, you're like, that's it. So it really is. You can't deny it. So I suppose I'll share that with you. The core belief is, and I'm still working with the wording of it, but it's basically everybody I love or value the opinion of will disappoint me, distance themselves from me, leave me, or stop loving me.
Wow. So
it's fun.
It's a big one, yeah. And for people who are listening who don't know what a core belief is, it's like Carl is always talking about finding our negative beliefs and how they're affecting our lives. And he's also recently just discovered that most of us have one core belief, but all the rest of the beliefs are created out of. So how is that affecting your life, Alexia?
Well, it was huge. I mean, I was literally repeating the same relationships.
Okay.
I'll tell you how the universe was trying to tell me, because my boyfriends were born on the 10th, 13th, 10th, 14th and 12th and 11th of July. And then I met the boyfriend before this one. And I, actually before this one, because the one before is my daughter's father. And then he said, will you like to go for a drink? And I said, yeah, I would love to, as long as you're not born on the 13th of July. And he said, I am. How did you know? And I said, what? And so it was 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, and 15th of July. And I said, what is this? This is unbelievable. And I hadn't done any of the work at the time, but literally the universe was showing me exact repeats. And it's not them. Unless you change you, it's not going to change. You're drawing the same things to you. So yeah, that's what was happening. So that's been a major change for me. My relationship with my parents, how I parent, and then just holding space for all my clients, and just the incredible work that you get to be part of every single day. I've been an actress for 15 years, and I thought that was the most exciting job you could do. And it just holds no candle to the work I do with Matrix and EFT. I just think it's the most incredible job to have the privilege of doing. I mean, I know you feel the same. All of us in the tribe of EFT and Matrix practitioners feel that way, because it's just incredible. Yeah, so that's one of the big changes for me as relationships. Yeah.
Wow, that's massive. For people that are listening, could you describe a little bit about how PTSD was for you? How was that how did you know you had PTSD? What was happening in your life?
Well, when I had my daughter, I had her at home, and it was a pretty beautiful birth up until the very end, where she had a shoulder dystocia. And so the midwife with me, she recognized it a little bit later on, but at first I actually birthed, I don't want to get too gory for all of you, but I actually birthed her head 6 times, and it kept going back inside. And so they said, you can do it just one more time. And I was like, I can't do anything one more time. Anyway, I finally did. She was very tired, and I was very tired, and she couldn't get out because of her shoulder. Luckily, last minute, the midwife popped her shoulder out, popped it back in again, and it was fine. But when she came out, she wasn't breathing, and she was completely inert in my arms. And I thought, she's dead. And then she breathed, and everything was fine, and it was all great, and it was wonderful. And the first 6 weeks were magic. And then I had a very small car crash where my wheel exploded, and she came out of her seat, and I saw her out of the seat, and it clicked in me, she's dead again. So it just brought on this anxiety, this huge anxiety, and it became completely overwhelming. As I said, I've been an actress for 15 years, and I was incredibly good at hiding that. But a midwife came around on a routine visit, recommended I go and see a therapist. And luckily for me, that therapist did EFT as well. She is an NHS therapist who did EFT and had trained with Carl. So it was all this incredible cycle.
Yeah.
I didn't find that out, though, until after I trained with Carl and then came back to her. And I said, I've just met this incredible man. And she said, what? The one with blonde on the end of his hair? And I said, that's him. And she said, he is incredible. And I trained with him. And I was like, no way, I can't believe it. So amazing. But I mean, I love the NHS as much as I love EFT. She transformed my life with EFT, and yeah, but it was awful. The anxiety was incredible. It was 24/7. I remember a man, very sweet, now I think back on it, leaning into Marley's pram and saying hi like this, and I remember growling at him. I mean, a proper growl, and I told it as a joke afterwards to my friends, but it wasn't funny. I mean, I literally growled like an animal. And I bared my teeth at him. And after I'd done that, I thought, that needs a little bit of looking at. So yeah, it was huge. And so a lot of the people who come to me now, I was explaining to you before, Sharon, they are creatives, they're actors, musicians. You seem to draw to you, you know, what your energy is. But also I get a lot of people with anxiety and PTSD, a lot of mothers, and some single mothers. I'm not sure if I'm technically allowed to still be a single mother, seeing as I have a partner living with me now, but I still attract, you know, a lot of single mothers. And just being able to show a way through, you know, that it's a process, that it's highlighting something in your life that's going on now, it's not going to be there forever. That was the most wonderful thing for me. I started Googling about PTSD when I got it, and it was like, oh, this can take years. You know, veterans who've had it for years, and they have, but there's also a process which is faster than that, and that can be EFT and Matrix. So yeah.
Brilliant. Awesome. Alexia, thank you so much. If people listening to this identify with your story and are drawn to working with you, how would they find you?
I have 2 websites, one for mothers, one for women, one for people who want to come for general phobias, anxiety, and that's www.hathorandbast.com, Hathor and Bast, B-A-S-T. They're 2 Egyptian goddesses. And then for people who are in the industry, then it's forthecastandcrew.com. And that's especially for people in the industry, in the film, TV, and theatre industry, and musicians and performers. So they can get hold of me via there. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Alexia, so much for sharing this time with us. And if you had one message for Carl, what would you say?
I would say you took a chance on me, and that was the beginning of the best part of my life. So thank you every day. You're the best. That's what I'd say. Yeah, for sure. He knows that already.
Now the whole world knows it too.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. And they should. That's great. Take care, darling.
Thank you, darling.